All right, guys, Sam back with you here, Wednesday, January 10th. I had a member interested in VEN to Bitcoin. Now, I was not familiar with this coin, so it's VeChain is the project here. Now, it's a relatively new coin. Look at the traction it's getting here. It's only it's unbelievable. It's only 5 months old. We've got a market cap of 1.8 billion, already over 50 here at 54%. You know, I'd like to see that a little higher, but you know, this gives me confidence. So we've got a pretty strong project here, making a lot of progress here in a very short amount of time. In 5 months at 1.8 billion, that's impressive. So we'll go over here and look and see where it's trading, so we can see that the bulk of it was almost no US dollar trading. So bulk of it is in Bitcoin, and it's trading over on Binance, where we see almost 60% of that trading volume. So I'll let you do your own research on what the project is all about, but these are good numbers. So certainly tradable. So if we come over here, you can see that this thing has just been on a tear. So short history, but you know, I see these wicks, and that, you know, that gives me pause. But you know, that it's just a question of, well, let's check them. Are they? Is that a lot of times when you see that kind of activity, that can be a tell that algos are in, because they're getting the fills that they're looking for. So when you see that abrupt action, that can often mean that somebody wanted a fill and they didn't want to pay a premium price for it. So let's just take a look here. So here, all I've done here is just wick off the absolute low here. You know, and just, you know, first look, you know, accommodating this wicking action here. Well, we can pretty easily spot a 5-wave structure to get a 1-wave started. So I get a 1, 2, there's big 3, come down for the 4, and that looks like that might complete my 5-wave. So let's open that up a little bit and see, you know, if it's trading technically. So let me get that. You know, this is a good example where you have this huge range here. I'm going to go to log scale, where I can open it up a little bit more and see it a little bit better. So if I look here and I go, okay, well, let's see. Does this make sense? There's 1, 2. Well, let's check this. Well, this is kind of interesting. So the first thing I see is I've got my wave 1 here wicked off here, and I come and I do not overlap the wave 1. I come right to the Vegas wave. Then I'm curious to check and see if that's technical. So if I'm pulling from my wave 2 low up to this extreme, you know, where, lo and behold, what do we see? So right, so that's where I'm talking about these spikes like this, or often somebody wants a fill. So there's the golden pocket 61865 that catches the wave 4. We don't overlap the 1. So what does that tell you? Well, so a couple of things right off the bat. So algos are in, right? So here's the golden pocket. Here's their target. Bang, there they go. Look at the reaction. So definitely algo activity. They do leave tracks. So they're, you know, gorgeous. Okay, so now I'm even more intrigued. So I've got a beautiful 5-wave structure that completes. I've got perfect algo tracks telling me they're in. So let's see what happens next. Well, if that's a completed 5-wave structure, well, then I know that I'm going to go up a degree. Get that hot. I'm going to go up a degree, and I'm going to say, okay, well, I've got my 1 wave. Well, I got a pretty brutal 2 there. I'm going to have to push these up. So let's go up a degree. We'll go to white so you can see it better. And let's go up to minuet. Okay, cool. All right, so what do we got here? So if that's my 5-wave, what am I looking for? If I've got a completed 5-wave sequence, I'm looking for the 2-wave. What's the highest probability zone for a 2? Between the 50 and the 618. Where do we go here? So up I go for the 1-wave. Here's my, it's kind of hard to see. It's such an abrupt, if I open that up, you can see the low here. So we come just right between the 50 and the 618. We get to a little spike down through the Vegas wave, but that seems to be, you know, this is just a wick. So somebody wanted a fill. So we come down, so we qualify. So do we care about that? Well, what we're trying to figure out is how can we get in and trade behind the algo. So this is you know, pretty classic here, but they've pumped it up even beyond that. So let me bring the rest of this in and say, okay, does this make sense? Well, if this is a 1, 2, because I've got my nice 5-wave subdivision here, yes, I have a very abrupt, I mean, you can see, you know, that's a B, and then jam it down. Somebody wants a fill, they get their fill, and off it goes. Okay, so does this all make sense? Well, you know, from an Elliott perspective, if I'm looking for the relationships between waves, so far pretty good. So let me zoom back out and say, okay, well, if that's my 1, all right, well, what am I looking for here? I got to go. Look at this thing is just ripping. So I'm going to go up. No, I mean, so this gets my eye. So take a look here. So this is very interesting. Okay, so likely this is what we have here. And so why do I say that? Well, first thing I do, if I know I've got a wave 1 of a larger degree, I'm going to wick off that wave 1 high. What do we see here? Well, that's kind of interesting. So just as we did here, so we get a 5 wave completed here. Here's that wave 1, down for the 2, up we go for the 3, come down for the 4. We don't overlap the 1, so I've got an impulsive wave. Interesting. Was it technical? Well, let's just check it. So we're going to pull from the 2 to the 3 high. What do we do? Right to the 50. Okay, here's the reaction. Here's the first algo target, second algo target. Oh, juicy. They're getting their third target, and we don't know that that's full there. So I've got perfect technical trading for a coin that's only 5 months old. It's already got a market cap of 1.8 billion. Okay, well, this just got on my watch list. I mean, this is beautiful to see. So where are we? Okay, so I've got a 1, 2, perfect, 3, 4, perfect. Here I'm going up for a 5. Well, but take note here. This would be, if we're completing this, we've got our 1 wave. Now potentially we're completing the next 5 wave structure. So on an even larger degree, I've got potentially my 3rd here. Do you see that? So remember, it's waves within waves. So even though I get this abrupt sell-off here to give me a 2, I complete yet again 3, 4, 5. So now I'm looking for, if that completes this 5 wave sequence, I'm looking for the 50. So let me pull that off. So here we are. So note here that we're sitting right at one of their, that's an extreme for them to get negative 100, and we're starting to see a retracement here. So let's pull that off. So now we're going to look for, well, if that's the 3, we're going to pull from here. We're going to go up here. What's the next thing I'm looking for? I'm looking for the next 50. Well, look at the Vegas wave right there. So this is interesting. Look at this. So this thing has been so beautifully technical. This doesn't surprise me at all. So I get a little structural support there. And, for all we know, this gets relabeled yet again. But that gets my attention. So note here, I've got nice confluence. So I've got pattern. I've got price. I've got my fib pull. I've got my Vegas wave. So what am I looking for now? I want to see 3 waves. I want to see 3 waves come down to that. That would be ideal. Knowing that, again, often we're seeing this. We're seeing the A wave be the abrupt sell-off. That's the profit taking, or the stop running, take your choice. We might see this kind of thing because we do see that a lot in crypto. So I'm just pulling from here on the assumption that I've got 1, 2. Now I've completed a 5 wave sequence. I'm looking for the next 50, right? Pulling from this low. Interesting. So 1 to be on the radar. So, again, wait for your trade. So for me, I want to see 3 waves. And there are times when I'm going to miss it because I'm not going to get it. But, that's what I'm looking for. So whether I get it this way or this way or this way, you don't know. Or maybe it's more like this. I mean, that's more traditional. You got to wait and see what it looks like, because then again you're looking for subdivision within that ABC. So I'm looking for 5 waves, 5 or 3 in the A. I'm definitely looking for 3 in the B. It's typically going to be a push to get to new highs that fails. It rolls over. That's what creates the 3-wave structure. Now, are we impulsive again? Are we impatient? Is what I mean to say for the C, and we get a front run here. Or do we go more traditional? Well, let's wait and see. Wait and see. But very technical trading. I mean, this is a coin I'm going to pay attention to. I'd never even looked at it before. But clearly, algos are in, and they're just making it just textbook trading. So that doesn't mean it will be perfect next time. But again, you assume that it's going to trade technically until it doesn't. Then you reevaluate, or you move on, or it's just case by case situation. If it's staying technical, then hell yeah, I'm going to keep trading it. So given what we're seeing here, next thing so what would you do? So I'd put an alert right here. Just I'd front run this. I might maybe here. I want to know when we get to the 50. Yeah, we could be there in the next 3-4 hours. We don't know. So if I'm a buyer here at this 50, here's my target. Waves within waves within waves. Okay, guys, I'll wrap it there.